Good evening. The Conservation Commission will hold a remote public hearing on Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, MGL, Chapter 30A, Sections 18 to 25, Open Meeting Law, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Chapter 155 of the Code of the Town of Eastham, Eastham Wetlands Protection Bylaw. And before we start, this meeting is being broadcast live on Public Access Channel 8 and on the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov. Please remember to remain mute unless it is your turn to speak, and let the chair know if you will be recording the meeting. I'm going to take attendance and then we'll start. Janet Benjamin is not here tonight. Joanne Cossett.
Here.
Greg Douglas.
Here.
Mike Harnett.
Here.
Chuck Wagner. I just thought, oh, here you are.
Oh, yeah, here.
Okay, and Karen Strauss, I am here. First up tonight is Certificate of Compliance filed by David and Julie Springwater for SE 19-1664 for construction of a single-family dwelling, septic system, well, removal of invasive vegetation, and revised footprint for a proposed dwelling at property located at 30 Drake Circle, map 16, parcel 002. And I see Stephanie.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening. Stephanie Sequin with Broder Wilcox representing Dave and Julie Springwater. And yes, this was an order of conditions that was issued to allow the construction of a new dwelling on a vacant lot. There was quite an extensive land management plan for as mitigation. They provided some significant removal of invasive vegetation and restoration with native species. I think you should have a final report, I guess, from Crawford Land Management, who came up with the plan and also implemented it. And I think everything, when I did my site inspection, everything seemed to be in order with one exception. I did notice there is a pervious path on around the northwest corner of the building that was not on the approved plan, but the naturalized buffer comes pretty much right up to that path, and it's definitely pervious. It's very level, so there's not any sort of runoff issues. So other than that, I thought everything looked good.
Thank you, Stephanie. I think we'll have to consider the path. So you're saying the path is impervious, but
It's pervious.
there's no, it's pervious. Okay.
Yes.
And even though the condition 36 says no stone paths to be added without approval, I guess we have to think about that one a little bit, but I have no questions. It sounds like you've done everything otherwise that the order of conditions states. I know that some of you were out there for a site visit this morning. Alex, Mike, Alex?
Or I can let Mike go first and I can follow up.
Okay, Mike?
I was out there this morning. Everything looked pretty good. I just noticed though that there's a lot of sprinklers, permanently installed sprinklers.
No.
In this area. I just wondered if they are being scheduled to be removed?
So I believe those are just the temporary above ground sprinklers that were put in to get the plantings established. And, you know, as soon as we get your blessing on, you know, the fact that you're hopefully satisfied with the condition of the plantings and the number and density, then that above ground irrigation can be removed.
Okay, everything looked pretty good to me.
And any thoughts on the path, Mike?
It was no, it was a slate path there's plenty of grass in between each pieces. I thought it was, other than not following directions, I thought the path was okay.
Thank you. Alex?
So I think, Mike, I think the path in question, it was the gravel path on the northern side of the property. I have no issue with it. I mean, as Stephanie mentioned, it's pervious. I don't think the path should hold up the issuance of a certificate of compliance, but I would also like the irrigation to be removed. We didn't condition that temporary irrigation be removed when I was looking at the order. Let me pull that up real quick. But it did specifically mention that there should be no permanent irrigation. And so if there is permanent irrigation on the premises, that should be removed prior to the certificate being issued. But other than that, I thought it looked great. The plantings are well established and yeah, it looked good.
Any other comments from commission? Okay. It sounds like you were looking to have ongoing maintenance and removal of invasive species within the limit of work as part of the order condition.
I honestly don't know if there is any ongoing management needed here. And is there anyone from, I can't tell if anyone from Crawford Land Management is here.
Stephanie Greaves.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Greaves from Crawford Land Management. We always like to ask for the ongoing conditions just in case. I think this property would be okay letting it go, but we do always like to ask to afford the homeowners the opportunity to treat any ongoing invasives that may pop up.
Okay. So I will ask what the commission feels either way. Joanne, any thoughts?
Nope, no thoughts on this one. Thanks.
Okay. Greg?
No, I thought the property looked good, and with the exception of the sprinklers, no, I don't have any other thoughts on it.
Okay. And Chuck, anything?
No, I'm fine with it as long as the sprinklers come out when they're supposed to.
Okay, so it sounds like we're ready for a motion. If somebody would like to make a motion to approve the certificate of compliance with ongoing maintenance and management of invasives.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mike,
Yes.
Chuck?
Yep.
Joanne,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. Okay,
Good, thank you all very much.
thank you.
Night.
Good night. Next, we have administrative review filed by Jill Saccoccia. Applicant proposes to remove 5 pitch pine trees and remove broken limbs from 3 other trees at property located at 25 Sharon Circle, map 11, parcel 039. And is there anyone here to speak on that, or I should maybe ask the people who were out at the site visit if they have any comments first? Mike, I'll put you on the spot again.
I agree with the applicant. The pitch pines are old. A lot of them had insect damage. I agree they should come out, but I think they should be replaced with a 1-for-1 tree. There's plenty of room on the side for them to put in other pitch pines, cherries, even shrubs. It is well vegetated, and the trees look like if they topple, they'll hit the house. So I agree they should be removed.
Alex, and then Greg.
Yeah, I'll second what Mike said. I certainly understand the property owner's concern about these pitch pines. There is a cluster, I think there's 3 or 4 pitch pines on the east side of the dwelling. So when those come out, that kind of makes a nice space for some mitigation plantings. And Mike suggested a 1-to-1 replacement. And I think that's appropriate for this.
Greg, you had your hand up as well?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and there's plenty of room to do a 1-to-1 replacement.
Yeah, well, invite the property owner to make any comments or speak.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, obviously there's plenty of trees on the property and vegetation, and we're happy to do 1-for-1. So we'll just, my question is, when you do 1-for-1, do I put it right in the same location as removal or anywhere on the property?
Anywhere within the buffer zone area where the work is being done.
Okay,
So we still want it within the 100-foot buffer zone if that's where the trees are coming out from.
right. I just didn't
or
know if
the
you
50.
remove
Yeah.
tree and put shrub in, but okay.
Oh, it's usually better not to plant right on top of where you've just taken something out
Okay,
as
Okay.
well.
thank you.
Okay. Greg?
Yeah, my understanding is that you wouldn't necessarily remove the stump. You would just flush cut them to the land,
Yes.
so you don't disturb the roots. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve with 1-to-1 mitigation of pitch pines or native shrubs and with the special conditions for tree pruning and removal, which I'll run through real quickly, is that the property owner must inform the contractor engineer and of the conditions, that only qualified contractors be used, that the Conservation Commission shall be notified by telephone 24 hours before beginning work, and the vegetation management time of year restrictions, so no pruning or vegetation removal from May 1st to August 31st. And we've already discussed the mitigation planting. So moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, Greg,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes,
and I'm a yes as well.
Thank you.
So thank you. The conservation office will have that ready in what, a week, a few days?
Yes, this one, we'll get this in the mail probably later this week.
Okay.
And the permit will outline the conditions that were discussed during the meeting too.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Okay, have a good night.
Good night. Next up, we have a continuation of notice of intent filed by Edward and Amy Bull. Applicant proposes to remove an existing garage and construct a 1-bedroom dwelling with an IA septic system and mitigation at property located at 100 and 110 Ellis Road, map 22, parcel 12 and 13. They've requested a continuance until February 11th, 2025. If someone could make a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
second,
Okay, Joanne,
yes,
Chuck,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. And continuation of notice of intent filed by Susan Como. Applicant proposes to remove the existing dwelling and garage and construct a new dwelling and garage, install an IA sewage system, a footpath and removable elevated boardwalk at property located at 320 State Highway, map 20, parcel 110, and they've requested a continuance to February 11th. If we could have a motion.
So moved.
And a second?
second,
Okay, Joanne,
yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay, and next we have minutes. for December 10th, 2024 and January 14th, 2025. Does anybody have any comments or anything?
No.
Okay, okay, if we could have a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, Greg,
yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Joanne,
yes,
Chuck,
Yes,
and I'm a yes. Okay, next up, any new violation information to report, Alex?
I did receive an update from 70 Log Cabin. So if you recall, that's the violation where they had the outdoor kind of gravel patio area that wasn't resulted from which was the result of some clearing on the property. Last week, James O'Reilly was out at the property putting together a land plan that was requested from the commission. So that's, a work in progress currently. So I'd expect, a notice of intent filing from that property owner, in the near future.
Thank you. And then liaison reports. Mike, anything?
No, not yet.
Okay, the open space committee, find my notes. Oh, I closed my notes. Okay, the open space committee discussed the OSRP, which is still very much in process. We have gotten bids for doing the Sandy Meadow ADA trail, and Alex was going to follow up on those, but it looks like the work will be done sometime in early spring. And the interpretive signs for Sandy Meadow should be arriving soon from the printers.
And I think
So-
they actually arrived today.
Oh.
There's a
That-
rather
that-
large box across the office from me, and I think they're the signs.
Okay, because they just sent a shipping notice, what, yesterday?
I know, I was surprised. So I'll
Okay,
open that
so
up tomorrow morning.
we're looking forward to seeing those, and those will go in at the same time as the ADA trail is being installed. So, yeah, and I think that's kind of it for the moment. We'll get back to open space again a little bit later. Or actually, could I move other discussion up for now since it seems to make sense? The Alex? Yeah,
I was just gonna mention we got the trainings coming up. We could
Oh.
touch base on those after. Other
it sort of makes sense to just do so the open space committee would like to buy some trail markers for Wiley, Nickerson, Cottontail, and Southeastham, and they've given us a quote for about $75. It's about $75. Let me pull that open here to buy a few packs of. I thought it was. I've lost my screen. Okay, to buy a few packs of trail signs trail markers so that they have them for the future as well. So 3 packs of trail markers from Amazon. They're $18.99 a piece. So they're looking for $75.96. So or so to make that, and they'd like us to authorize that from the conservation fund. So
These are
go
Are
ahead.
these those
Reflective
things?
metal. Let me pull up a picture of them for you.
Yeah, I think they're pretty identical to the ones that are currently being used, the circular metallic colored markers.
are these an addition or are they replacements?
They're these. So they're replacements, and they did go out over the last bunch of months and put up trail markers at the sites. And they've run out and would like to have additional ones to fill in where necessary and then have them on hand.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I would suggest we approve to $100, and then if there's any, well, let me unshare, sorry.
So moved.
Okay, Zoom, okay, wait a minute, stop sharing, okay. So I'm proposing $100, so moved by Mike, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mike,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So there we go. So Alex, I guess you'll facilitate that. Okay, and now we can move on to education and training. So the MACC conference is coming up on March 1st. And again, I'm going to suggest that this is a good opportunity for you all. The sessions look to be covering some technical things that some upcoming DEP regulation changes, and to cover there was a change in climate regulations from the state, as well as other things that are interesting, such as Amy Ball's session on identifying woody shrubs in winter, and there's a good session on that digs deep into Massachusetts soils, and a whole bunch of interesting things, plus an opportunity to meet other conservation commissioners and chat with them over lunch and during sessions. So I do highly recommend finding time to go. And okay, and we can carpool if anybody does decide to go. So there's my speech. There is our favorite lawyer from McGregor and Stevens is doing his annual update on Conservation Commission law and legal cases. So you might enjoy that one as well. Okay. And then Alex, you want to talk about floodplain management?
Sure. There's a floodplain management training. It's an introductory course on March 20th. And it's going to be at the Cape and Islands Association of Realtors, which is in Yarmouth. And this is a joint training between the Cooperative Extension / Hui Sea Grant, Coit Bay National Estuarine Research Reserves Coastal Training Program, and the Department of Conservation and Recreation. So it's open to pretty much anyone in the private or public sector, including conservation and commission members. So I plan on going to this. I believe Karen's expressed interest. I think Janet has as well. It's an all-day training, but it seems to be pretty thorough. And I've been to similar trainings before, and I've been pretty impressed by them. So if you could make this, I'd certainly recommend it.
Yeah, this is Greg. I signed up for it as well. And
You did?
I
Okay.
coordinate
Yeah,
with
it's
people
free.
if they need rides. I got no problem driving.
Yeah, I might bow out because I'm having cataract surgery the day before, but we shall see. I know, never ending, right? Yeah, but it's good if you can find the time to go to some of these things. And then you want to talk about the Wilkinson one, Alex?
Yeah, so we don't have a date for this, but Steve LaBranch from Wilkinson sent me an email that they're going to be hosting a training at the library regarding invasive species. And I think it sounds like an herbicide component to it. So if commissioners are interested in that, I'll keep you posted on the dates. It's going to be, I think, sometime in March. So when I know more, I will pass it along.
And that is the training portion of our evening. Okay, and we covered any other discussion? Any other discussion from the commission? Anybody want to share anything? Okay. Then I will say, good job, everybody, and if we could have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And is there a second?
Second?
Okay, Chuck?
Yeah.
Joanne?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.